Welcome to Bible Crafts for Kids for our fourth in the series, Jesus Heals Peter's Mother-in-Law. If you have been completing the first 3 creative pages, this one will be child's play because it is even easier. However, it still grabs the attention of our students because it is different. Although it still contains the 5 labels, there is an added interest in the pull tab. We are following Jesus through the area of Galilee, and in today's lesson we find him in Capernaum. Although Jesus had no permanent home, tradition says that he called Peter's house his home base. You can find the lesson templates and complete illustrated instructions on our website, BibleCraftsForKids.com. For today's creative page, we will need the instructions, the labels, and the instructions also come with a template, and we will need a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is to cut our paper. Our first cut will be a 6-inch by 12-inch. So we just simply need to cut our 12-inch paper in half. Then we're going to take one of the halves and we're going to cut it at 6 inches. This sheet right here will be what this template is talking about. So now we have our paper cut. Let's look at this template a little bit. What this template is, it just tells you where the cut line should be on this 6 by 6 inch square, which should be from point to point. So I'm going to align my points on my paper cutter, or you can use a ruler and scissors, and you're going to simply cut them into triangles. Now this sheet shows you where the adhesive should be. One should be on one side, and the other should be on the other side. However, to make it interesting, turn your pages over and put your adhesive. Now that our paper is cut, we only need to make one score line, and that score line will be at the 6-inch mark. Now let's talk about our labels. On this week's, or the number 4 series, Jesus Heals Peter's Mother-in-Law, there are 2 sets of labels on this one sheet of paper. Now, these ovals, if you have a die cutting machine, you can cut them out with your dies. We do that on purpose so it makes it easier for you. And also at this point, I'm going to add my double stick tape on the back of this side only. Now, on the bottom of where it says pull, we're going to put one strip of adhesive on the bottom, on the back side and the front side, because these ovals will adhere to the end of these pull tabs. So let's get the double stick tape put on, but first we're going to cut as much as we can. I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer, and as always, I like to cut the outside edges off. And then I'm going to look for the longest line, and it's right in the middle. So now I can place my double stick tape just by turning it over. As always, I like to put my double stick tape on before I do the cutting. That way it just makes it easier to put the double stick tape. However, you can use any adhesive you'd like. And now we're going to cut the labels apart. Again, looking for the longest line will be right in the middle. Now I'm only going to cut one set of these labels, because that's all we're going to need in the demonstration. And don't forget, we always put a memory verse card in for the kids to take home. That coincides with the lesson. Now for these ovals, like I said, you can use your die cutter, but they're not hard to just cut out by hand with your scissors, and it doesn't take long. Most churches of 200 or less, their classes for 6th grade and under usually run about 5 children or less to a class. If you have more than that, that is just absolutely great. But these do not take long to do to create your kits for your children if you have 5 or less. If you have more than that, don't forget, add your elderly in your church and ask them to help you. They will be glad to have something extra to do. And there's our labels. Now to complete the kit, we need a memory verse card. I'm just going to snip that apart with my scissors. So we have our labels, our 12 by 6 paper, and only one of the triangles, and that completes the kit. Now don't forget to put your double stick tape on your pull tabs. It goes on the front and on the back. And we only need one pull tab for each kit. In applying our tape, we also need to be aware of what the template said, adhesive on 2 of the sides. So we want to place our double stick tape on 2 of the sides of the triangle, and they will be the straight sides. I always like to trim the edges as well of my tape. And there you go, that completes our triangle. So now that we have our kit, let me show you how to put it together. First, we're going to start with the base. And the base, remember, we had the score line. Now, one of the reasons I use double-sided paper is that the children can choose whichever side that they would like. Now, in cutting this paper, I have cut this paper in the wrong orientation. My hearts go this way. If I had cut it this way, then the hearts would be straight up and down. So you might want to look for that in some of your papers. But today we're going to just simply fold that in half after we choose which side we'd like to use. I'm going to use the map as my front. We're going to open it up. Now for our triangle, we're going to place our triangle on the corner. Now see what I've done? I'm not sure that I like that because of the triangle with the tape on this side. I think I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to place it this way with my fold to the outside. And I believe that will give it a little more interest. So we're going to simply adhere that down to the corner. We're going to align the edges. I like to put my finger on the corner and align one edge, and there we go. And now that creates our base page. Now, let's take a look at our pull tab. Our pull tab, we're going to put our ovals, our key verse, and our Bible passages. Now we're going to take the tape off, and we're going to put our Bible passages, just adhere it to the bottom. We're going to turn it over, and we're going to put our key verse right over top of it. Then our pull tab goes in our little pocket. Now for the rest of the labels, we're going to start with our series label, which is Miracles of Jesus. And I always like to put that on the top. And then our title label, Jesus Heals Peter's Mother-in-Law. I like to place it on the front as well. Now on the inside, we've got a lot of places to put our main characters and our words to live by. They can go wherever you'd like to place them. I kind of liked that placement, and so I think that's the way I'll put mine. You will find that students have their own way of doing things, and that is okay. Every person is different, and this is like making art. And that completes today's page. Another easy page, but it's different. And so just the puzzle of putting some of these together make it so interesting for your students. I have never had a student tell me, oh, do we have to do another one of those? It has never happened. So join me next for number 5, Jesus Heals Many Sick in the Evening. Again, it's a simple page and not much preparation. Most of it comes in the cutting of the paper. We're so glad you have decided to use Bible Crafts for Kids lessons and creative pages. You're going to enjoy how inexpensive they are, and you can print as many as you need for your class. You can even allow extra for visitors. The memory verse card is just an added bonus. You're going to love the lessons as they teach about Jesus and how he cares for us through each miracle. The lessons also add some cultural information that was important to the lesson. So don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of the new lessons and creative pages.